There we go. Hello, YouTube, Facebook.
I'm on. I hope I have a squeaky chair.
Yep, I can hear from here.
You and squeaky chair, Josh. Let's see. Who would I like for Eliminator this week? My Buccaneers pick was a little risky, but eventually you got to pick some of these.
Yeah.
I was like, I might as well get one of those out of the way now.
Right.
Oh, it's an easy one this week.
Are we picking the same one?
Nope.
No.
Green Bay.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a pretty easy one for me, at least.
Yeah. Well, that's where we can probably talk NFL once we get to that section. That's probably
big old oof.
Yeah. All right. I'll get it started.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the Fifth and Goal Sports Podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Aaron, Josh, and Johnny.
Welcome to the show. Listeners, good to have you here. Viewers, you guys too. I didn't forget about you. Well, I almost did. I almost forgot to hit the go live button. But admittedly, or allegedly is a better way of putting that. Hope you
No one saw anything.
all are doing
no
well.
one can prove anything.
That's right. That's right. Hope everyone out there is doing well. Well, there's a certain fan base that certainly is not doing well.
There's 2 or 3 fan bases I hope aren't doing well, to be honest with you.
Josh says hope. I didn't go that far, but that's how we're feeling today on the first Monday of October. Happy fall, everybody. Happy near sports equinox. We're getting closer to that beloved date. We're in a week of college football that has midweek college football. So we are in a great spot. Again, most of us. Johnny, welcome back from the dead. How are things going?
Well, I kept my word, and I attempted to do all that was in my power to help the Cincinnati Reds advance in the postseason. And to my great dismay, but not my great surprise, it came up short.
Yeah.
So, I got as far away from Los Angeles and Cincinnati simultaneously pretty much as I possibly could. And I would say that the Reds wouldn't even score those runs late in each of those games if not for me escaping. So
yeah,
I made it at least look a little bit better on paper than it would have.
The Dodgers have you to blame for throwing like 90 pitches in the 8th inning over just 2 games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's my fault. So I mean, fun that the Reds made it. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, good. I mean, amazing college football Saturdays, the last few. So can't wait to talk about this last one.
Yeah, I saw some people on Twitter again this week. Oh man, Saturday, and they weren't talking about this upcoming Saturday. They were talking about the Saturday we just had. Oh man, this Saturday stinks. Like, when are you going to learn your lesson, old man?
I spent my time watching the Texas-Florida game and being dumbfounded, only to pull up the Penn State UCLA score, which I had been neglecting because I assumed something about how Penn State UCLA was going to go. I saw
Josh, it ruined my parlay. It was a beautiful parlay.
It was a great parlay, and I know that you're always willing to sacrifice the parlay for the story.
Absolutely. I was not upset, but it was an 8-way parlay, and it was perfect, except Penn State covering.
That's crazy.
Not just winning, covering.
The amount of people I was seeing on my TikTok feed going, dude, you better walk me back after this weekend, because once I cash out on Penn State covering the blue out, and everyone was making fun of blue outs.
Well, no, it still deserves to be made fun of.
Oh, absolutely deserves to be made fun of, because more Penn State fans showed up in their blue than Bruins fans. And that's as is expected. But that's okay. Turns out you don't need a good team. You don't need a good fan base to kill off Lucy Roden coins Little Game James. You don't need he can lose in any situation. Don't you dare.
Yeah.
Don't you dare presume he's only gonna falter on big games.
Man,
he can do it all. You want a heartbreaking loss?
Yeah.
In a double overtime on a highly contested primetime slot, he's your guy. You want a really heartbreaking loss in the middle of like a playoff season when it was like, oh, this is going to be the run. He's your guy. You want like a noon loss to a team that hasn't led until the game they played against you, where they didn't trail, I believe.
No, that's correct, Josh.
Against a brand new interim head coach and offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He's also your guy for that.
Yeah.
He was just learning how to use the headset.
He was learning how to use the headset. And
aren't we all?
Aren't we all?
Yeah, aren't we all?
Josh, all of that brings up a really good, what I'm going to call the biggest what if in college football history. And this is at Dylan every day on Twitter. I'm stealing it from him, so I will give him credit. Biggest what if ever. And we take you back to just last season, 2024. If Ohio State doesn't lose to Michigan, if Ohio State beats Michigan, Penn State does not get to the Big Ten championship game. And as such, you could argue their playoff seeding is different in the college football playoff. They don't have an easy path with Boise State and SMU. Maybe they play Tennessee, Notre Dame, Georgia, I don't know, any of these teams, and they lose. Drew Aller, having not just missed out on a national championship berth, leaves. Bo Prabula, knowing this, stays at Penn State. Now, I think the actual answer to this question is Prabula is ruined by the Penn State coaching staff, just as many Penn State quarterbacks before him. But, it is a hilarious what if Penn State was worse last year. Because ironically, that is what is making this more painful. And it's their own doing. It's no one to blame but themselves. But it's the fact that on paper, and in a lot of people's minds, mine included, you thought this was a championship team. And alongside of that, it was, okay, if not now, when? And the answer with James Franklin now is never. We know that now. We thought that. Everyone kind of had that hunch. And now we know the answer. It is never. And what do you do?
Never.
Obviously, the fans want him gone. Penn State has about roughly 54 million reasons why they can't get rid of him right now.
And that's just him.
Yes.
And those are 54 million reasons that they're trying to go 1-0 now.
Yes.
I thought
it was a brave tweet, man.
It's a brave tweet.
A brave tweet.
I want to be in the room. I want to be in the room when that send button was pressed.
Okay, so you guys are talking more about just the fan emotion aspect of it. I kind of
my week was good, by the way. I didn't even throw that in there. My week was fine. There we go. Continue.
Oh yeah, hey, Aaron, how are you?
This has been my week. So go ahead. I interrupted myself. I'm not putting this on you guys. My week doesn't matter when this stuff. When UCLA beats Penn State, my week does not matter.
I was doing either. Yeah, really. That my week was I got to watch the end of the Texas game while checking the game cast of the Penn State game.
Correct.
The fact that they were on at the same time was wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
Who does that?
Yeah.
There is any given Saturday.
Yeah, amen.
And that's
any
why
given Saturday is a bad apple picking Saturday.
Don't bad apple picking, because they probably all thought, the noon slate's terrible. I'll just miss the noon games and then I'll be fine. Wrong.
Every game matters. Every game is a good game.
Penn State, because we have this question almost of like, Aaron, you just mentioned like Penn State keeps ruining these quarterbacks. And so, okay, where does the blame need to be assigned? 42 points from Jim Knowles' defense is inexcusable.
Oh my.
That's like it for this game specifically, just not acceptable at all. It's just not. But this is where, and it's easy for me to say in hindsight and how good Matt Patricia's been for the Buckeyes, but didn't a lot of us deep down feel like Jim Knowles' defense was kind of missing something there all the time? Like, it's like, they're the number one defense in the country in yards given up. And it's like, yeah, but these teams are still going up and down the field. We can't get off the field on third down. And when it matters most, we can't get a stop. Meanwhile, Matt Patricia's defense right now has allowed only 8 red zone trips and 0 touchdowns on said trips. Both of those numbers are insane. So Ohio State has inarguably upgraded at defense. Jim Knowles' defense takes a lot longer to install, and his defense was so much better for Ohio State because Ohio State was having some of their worst defenses they'd had in a century before Jim Knowles showed up. Mm-hmm. So of course it looked better. 42 to UCLA is inexcusable. It just is. And I'm not saying the offense has nothing to blame here because I'm about to dig into the offense, but 38 points should have been enough to beat a UCLA team that had not led, as Josh said, for 1 second the entire year. And then they didn't trail. I retweeted somebody Thursday night who had said, after everybody's sharing the UCLA stat that they haven't led for a single second in the season. And they're like, how is that even possible? Minnesota was up a few minutes on Ohio State, 3-0. And I retweeted the guy who said, well, UCLA is going to score an opening field goal and be up on Penn State for a few minutes and break the streak. And I'm like, oh, they're definitely going to do that. I had no doubt in my mind. So when UCLA goes down and scores early on, I'm like, that's pretty, I expected that. That's hilarious on its own. Mm-hmm. So this was insane. But anyway, I'm so sorry. The offense, Penn State, and James Franklin bears the brunt of this, and Andy Kotelnicki, their offensive coordinator, bears the brunt of this, who I liked when they hired 2 years ago. Yeah. They are being insanely stubborn and bullheaded about what type of offense they want to run. Drew Aller, the layman can look at Drew Aller and say, that's a prototypical drop back quarterback. He's in the pocket. Can he escape a rusher? Can he scramble for a first down off script? Yes, of course he can. He's not a statue, but his giftings are not zone read, mesh concept. Let me decide based on the linebacker whether I'm going to run or give it to the running back. Because he's he's slow. He's not fast. Mm-hmm. So he can make it happen when it's not in the game plan. But to run those plays on 4th and 2 with the game on the line is absurd. Yeah. It's absurd, and it's not the first time we've seen this happen with Penn State. They did it with Trace McSorley, who was much better at it. And they've done it they keep doing this. That's not what he's good at. When does Penn State finally start scoring against Oregon? When they're desperate, they're down 2 scores, they open it up, and they let Drew throw it downfield and outside the numbers.
Yeah.
When do they start scoring against UCLA? When they're absolutely desperate and have to start airing it out. When were they successful against UCLA? When they brought in the extra tight end, extra offensive lineman, and just punched them in the mouth downhill with Katron Allen at running back. They don't seem to understand what they're good at and why. And this is where you give credit to really great coaches. I'm just going to keep bringing up Matt Patricia because I think it's just because they're right there, He's not running a system. He's running a defense based on the skill set of his players that put them in the best position to make plays. He can run the type of defense he's running because of his players, not in spite of his players. Penn State is scoring in spite of the play calling half the time when they are scoring. They got 65 yards against Oregon in the first half. They had 89 against UCLA in the first half. 89 yards against an 0-4 team who was in the bottom 10 of my worst list before this week. That is ridiculous. Yeah. Ridiculous. And that is bullheadedness. That is stubbornness and not trying to go with the giftings and skill set of your players. They're calling the game, Aaron, like you just said, Bo Pribula is the quarterback. Mm-hmm. Well, guess what? You had him. If you really wanted to run that offense, you should have run Aller out of town. But you didn't. Yeah. So play call like Drew Aller is your quarterback. And stop calling zone read mesh concepts that he is too slow to set his feet and throw. He needs to be under center. He needs to be dropping back and running a pro-style offense. And Penn State is doing him no favors. That doesn't mean he gets to escape all guilt. But imagine your coaches almost sabotaging you from the get-go. That's what's happening. And it's insane to watch that they still are not learning this lesson 5 weeks into the season.
Yeah. And we throw the term generational out there as a sports people. Oh, what a generational talent. Oh, a generational play. Okay, we could probably calm down a little bit when we use that term. Sometimes it's valid. Sometimes it's worth it. In this case,
the only way to know whether or not it's valid is just to use it every time, and eventually you'll know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I use it.
Or you can look at the last time something like this has happened and determine, has a generation passed between now and then? Answer here, yes. Because if you look at the 5 times in college football history where a top 10 team has been upset by an opponent 0-4 or worse, so AKA a team on Johnny's worst list. It's happened 5 times. We just saw it. Penn State, number 7, loses to UCLA, which, by the way, the 5th and goal poll did not have Penn State as high as 7. Just throwing that out there for what it's worth. Not that we saw this coming, but anyways. Okay, The last time previous to this, 2025, Penn State loses to UCLA. 1985, number 7 BYU loses to UTEP. Kids, do some public math there. That's 40 years. That's a generation. 1958, number 6 Navy loses to Tulane. Back when Tulane was in the SEC, I think.
These are some great callbacks.
Yeah.
UTEP, Tulane.
It gets better. 1953, number 2 Michigan State loses to, who else? Purdue. Saw that silly little number. Purdue, even back in 1953, said, yeah, we'll take that. 1941, number 3 Fordham loses to Pittsburgh.
Does that even count? That's during the World War II.
Oh, it counts. It counts more than Wilt's 100-point game.
There's more footage available of it.
Yeah, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Nothing counts less than Wilt's 100-point game.
Yeah.
And to anybody upset, just give us the footage and we'll stop making fun of it.
Mm-hmm. But don't worry, guys.
And we'll stop.
Don't worry, guys. Jim Knowles, it'll take him a while. But don't worry. He's only the richest coordinator in college football. Don't worry. He gave up more points to an 0-4 team than Matt Patricia has given up in all 5 games combined.
Yeah, but did he play in the swamp?
Good point. Yeah.
Because apparently that's all that matters.
It's, by the way, I said 54 million earlier. The number's 56.
Ugh.
Well, and remember, that's just his salary.
Correct.
That's not the coordinator's buyout.
Yeah.
So
all that's to have a worse strength of record, according to ESPN FPI, than Kennesaw State's.
Go
I
Owls.
agree. Kennesaw State, only their 2nd year of FBS football, not on the worst list.
No.
Very impressive.
Good for them. Yeah. They've had some good wins this year.
Props.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And soon they'll be playing. Actually, do they play a weekday game this week? I got to look at that. Anyways, not to get us sidetracked on a weekday Conference USA, but which, by the way, Josh, you talked about this last week. We got to get a better name. Like, they're printing weekday CUSA on the field. We can do better.
It's harder than Maction. I do get it.
It is.
Or Fun Belt.
It is, but
they roll off the tongue.
You all have
How
marketing
many
departments.
Majors, yeah, this is
what they do.
You either get me a workable late night tag, or you don't pass this class. I'd have it finished by the end of the month.
Yeah.
Well, I would have had it finished by, it's about midterms right now, more or less, depending on when you're starting your semester. Yeah, it would have been done already.
Yeah. Put
me in, coach.
Josh, you talked about Florida. I talked to some Florida fans before this game who didn't want to win it. Have you guys talked about? They didn't want Billy Napier to be able to save himself again. This reminds me of Les Miles with LSU the last few years.
This was the exact
they finally just fired him because they're like, enough. We know you're going to save yourself if we don't fire you right now. So we're going to fire you.
The amount of frustration at Billy Napier being Nick Saban only when he's a week away from being fired is fantastic.
It's the least fun I've seen an unranked team taking out a top 10 team at home have ever. And I understand it though. That's the thing with like Florida fans right now. I totally get it. You're like, where was this in September? Where was this?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not saying Florida plays like this. They beat anyone in the country. I'm not saying that. Absolutely not. But I think they probably aren't 2-3 right now if they played like they did on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why does it take you basically being eliminated from contention to say, oh, okay, now we can get our act together? Like, this Florida team easily could have beaten LSU.
Yeah.
Like this version, let me clarify, of DJ Lagway not throwing 4 picks.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And LSU's defense, of course, gets credit for that.
Yeah,
but
of course.
like Florida's defense has played very well enough for them to win most games this season.
Yep.
So this is much more of an offensive thing because we can talk about Texas's offense and their struggles. But Florida's offense and DJ Lagway finally figuring it out. He's not a first-year starter. Is this because he was injured all offseason?
I do think that's a big part of it.
Sure. And that's why I really hesitated with everybody's takes because I'm like, I don't trust he's healthy. I mean, strangely, he's been completely healthy during the regular season, but the offseason not getting the snaps in probably really hurt. But it's just wild. I understand why Florida fans are so frustrated because it's so inconsistent. And I have no idea what to expect from Florida on a week-to-week basis. And they travel to College Station next week.
Yeah.
And I have no read on that game.
I don't either.
None at all.
Clue.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea. I actually fairly feel like I know what I'm getting out of A&M.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a clue what Florida team's showing up. Not one clue. And Texas A&M, who had a bye week, they didn't have a bye week. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
they played Mississippi State. Texas A&M is probably looking at the film like, which Florida team are we getting as well? Like, not a clue. So I don't know if you guys have any more thoughts on Florida's take from that, but Texas.
No, other than, I mean, I think their defense gives them a shot in every game, like you said. And which in a way I get kind of makes it even more frustrating sometimes because you're in every game, so you feel like you should win every game. You're not like a Mississippi State's a good example because like that's a team that's shown some upside. Like they were deservedly in the top 25, like close. They hung with Texas A&M for a half. But at the end of the day, like what were the expectations for that team coming in? Like maybe make a bowl game. So that like anything they're getting beyond that in a way probably feels like a bonus now. And win the Egg Bowl because that's always a thing for them, which they could. At this point, I'm curious what you guys think. Some of the dust is starting to settle a little bit. Although as much dust that is settling, more is being kicked up by some of these wild results that we
Plenty of space for new dust. Yeah.
That we have seen and that we potentially are going to see this upcoming week because there's major upset alerts across college football this week. But as of right now, especially with Miami beating Florida State, there's kind of a top 3 that's been established now. It's Ohio State, and in no particular order. It's Ohio State, it's Miami, it's Oregon. And well, that's the order of the AP poll, but in no particular order. Is there a 4th or 5th team that should be thrown in there as you guys see it right now? Or does that feel like the top 3, at least going into this week, that there's a distinct top 3 where we haven't seen that before?
Of all of these, and this is my hotter take, of the 3, I think right now Miami has the best record. And so if it
and best
AP's
wins.
not going to jump.
I don't think
that's what I meant. Yeah, best wins right now. Because the Texas win. Remember, hey, by the way, real quick, and we were, and Aaron was so kind to move on from Texas because he was going to talk about like other teams. I'm not done. So, do you guys remember when Ohio State beat Texas? You do remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron said, "Hey, what's your panic level?" And I said, "Not enough information, not enough data. He's a first-year quarterback. Yeah, he's got hype, but this happens. Nerves happen. It's an away game. It's an intimidating environment. I have my answer now. You're cooked."
Josh, the only reason Texas is not getting fried right now is because of Penn State shielding them.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, absolutely. I saw an Arch Manning that looks the exact same.
Yeah.
As he did in Ohio State, throwing dumb plays, just throwing out the weirdest, like, I hope this works triple coverage type. Like, that's not gonna. I'm dumb, and I can read that.
Mm-hmm.
I just learned what a cover 4 was like last week, and then I went, "Ooh, that doesn't look good." Like,
Yeah.
anyway,
It's funny
that
you
being
say that
said-
because real quick to segue us to, well, not to segue because I don't want to leave that conversation, because I had the same thought the opposite direction where I was watching Julian Sayin carve up Minnesota, and my thought was,
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about quarterback play, but the way that he just so quickly, like, just a flick of the wrist and it's just on the wide receiver, like,
there.
to see that progression, like, because we've been worried going back to that Texas game, like, okay, we beat Texas,
Yeah.
great, we were very conservative. Is there like a lack of trust in Julian Sayin? Like, what's going on? And the further and further we get, and I know Minnesota's not the greatest opponent in the world, not bad by any stretch of the imagination,
all.
but
Hey,
to see
first
the
by
way
Russell.
the playbook is starting to develop, there's a little bit more creativity, there's a little bit more trust. Like, okay, so this really is just let's not throw him to the wolves. Let's build his confidence. Let's see what he can do. And to see how Julian Sayin has checked every box so far has been remarkable.
Yeah.
I mean, that game against Minnesota was just sensational. You saw the deep ball. That's if you're a Buckeye fan, that was kind of what we were all clamoring for. We're like, okay, what is this going to look like? And largely, it was very impressive. So,
Yeah.
and largely because that was also the discussion going into the year, because the Buckeyes and the Longhorns were playing one another. Which quarterback is going to be better of these two? It's a landslide right now in favor of Sayin.
Yeah. Yes. And so here's the thing. Miami's wins are going to continue to get better to me.
Right.
Florida State's going to flip this around now, and they're going to be able to turn it around and win some games. Like, they got the upset against Virginia, which, by the way, Virginia survived Louisville, which
Yeah.
I was stunned by.
Same.
That was
Yep.
definitely a pick. I expected Louisville to win. So hats off to Virginia. That loss does not look
strong. Virginia, yeah.
nearly as bad.
Right.
And of course, Miami is an excellent team. So Florida State is going to rattle off some wins now. They're going to climb back up the rankings. Notre Dame has, it's never good to have two losses this early in the season, but they're the two of the top 5 teams in the country right now. And they are by a margin of combined 4 points. Like, that's a very good Notre Dame team. Listen, I don't know if I'd have them ranked as high as the AP right now. However, I understand it because most teams have not played that strength of schedule, and they look the part of a top 15 team. So, like, Miami's games, like, wins are going to continue to really look really, really good. Oregon and Ohio State, unfortunately, don't play each other. Now, Penn State is not remotely as bad as they were in LA last Saturday. They're going to get back into the rankings. That'll be a nice win for Oregon. Oregon gets to play Indiana this week. And I think that is fun.
Yeah.
Like, a really, really fun game. So I can't wait. But all that to say, these teams have not shown a lot of mortal flaws. Ohio State, what are we concerned about? Julian Sayin. Well, he's a first-year starting quarterback, and we're seeing progression.
Yeah.
What were we worried about Miami coming into the year? The defense, specifically the defensive backs. Well, they survived Notre Dame, who clearly has a very good passing attack, and they were able to beat Florida State. Now, are either of these teams prolific passing teams? No. But Miami, who had an atrocious defense last year, fixed. And the offense has not dropped off production-wise very much. And then Oregon, that's a fantastic win in Happy Valley. I do not care what Penn State did the week after. It's still a fantastic win. Dante Moore looks the part. He's a Heisman Trophy candidate. Oregon looks phenomenal on the offensive line. And the wide receivers look good enough. And that was the concern. So all 3 of these teams who had this major question coming into the year have checked them off. Now, does that mean they're unbeatable? These teams won't lose a game this year? By no means. But so far, out of these 3 teams to me, do not look to have that fatal flaw that every team below them, in my opinion, has. Now, I say that, and Aaron, your question was, who could potentially join them? My answer is Oklahoma with a healthy John Mateer. If Oklahoma's able to beat Texas in the Red River Shootout this week without Mateer, and then Mateer comes back and shows me he's healthy, Oklahoma joins the list. Now, to me, Oklahoma is maybe the only SEC team that can join that list. Not that the other teams aren't very good, but I see significant flaws in the other ones that I don't necessarily see in Oklahoma because that defense is suffocating for Oklahoma. So if they're able to show that they can win a rivalry game against Texas, and it'll be a much better Texas team that shows up in Red River, if they're able to win without their starting quarterback, and then I can see that Mateer's healthy, they join the list as that fourth team.
Yep.
And we can get rid of the 12-team playoff and just have those 4 play.
Who'd have thought, right?
Perfect.
Who'd have thought? Just real quickly looking at Miami's schedule, which is just a gift from the football gods. They have not left the state of Florida yet, nor will they in the month of October, because they get Louisville in there on a Friday night, which maybe it's a bounce back game for Louisville.
Danger.
But yeah, and I wouldn't overlook that. That's not this Friday. That is next. They have a bye week because, of course, they had bye week sandwiched between Florida and Florida State, and then their game after Florida State. Well done. Home against Stanford. That'll be a bloodbath. I mean, where's the loss in November even? And there's 3 road games in here, but at SMU, Josh, I mean, we'll be pulling for it, but I don't see it. Syracuse, NC State, at Virginia Tech, who's terrible, at Pitt. I mean, where's the loss in there? Not that it can't happen. We've seen what happened last week in college football, but realistically, where's the loss? It's not there, in my opinion. It's too good of a defense. It's too good of an offense.
SMU and Louisville are the only even losable games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think the other ones are even losable. And I just saw UCLA beat Penn State, so really, can I say anything? But still.
Josh, you can find tickets as cheap as, and I use that in air quotes, $122.
That's not the worst.
It's not the worst.
It's not as bad as some NBA stadiums right now. I'll talk about that in a minute.
Well, right now the Cotton Bowl doesn't care about the shareholders, but they're working on that. They are trying to increase shareholder value, so might be one of the last years.
Yeah. Josh, we kind of interrupted your Texas conversation. Any more thoughts on Texas out of this Oklahoma game?
No, I
or
just want to make fun of them.
Yeah.
It's a rivalry game. Rivalry games hit different. There's no. Was worried? I was worried for Washington 2 weeks ago, and that was unfounded. Guess what? I've learned. I've seen 2 more games. I'm still worried about the Illabuck.
Oh, very concerned.
Yeah, as you should be.
Because it means more than just a number on a box score.
Yep. Wooden turtle time.
Yeah. These one, because we haven't played it in 8 years. It's been forever. But when it comes to these rivalry games, you don't know. Straight up, they hide plays that they use for these special occasions. There's chips on shoulders. For all I know, this is the one game Arch goes all out, and this is the Heisman Arch we've been looking for. That could 100% happen.
We've seen it happen in the Red River.
It is exactly what could happen. Texas has blown out a favored Oklahoma, but more often than not, a favored Texas gets destroyed by an underranked and underrated Oklahoma. You have no clue what's about to happen.
Yeah,
which is why it's fun.
Yep.
But no thoughts. Any thoughts I just had, throw them right out the window because Cotton Bowl changes you.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to leave this segment before announcing that Penn State's 3rd loss of the season has just dropped as of 6 hours ago. Because the kick time for their game at Iowa on the 18th is announced. It's a 7 p.m. kick on Peacock. They're losing that game for sure. At Iowa, Kinnick Stadium, it checks all the boxes. Them being themselves, playing a Kirk Ferentz team that's going to give them 4 possessions on offense. A 7 p.m. kick time on Will anyone score on Peacock? The Hawkeyes will win that game 3-0 in overtime. Correction.
It will be a
correction.
3-2.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, 3-2 on Peacock, and you will like it. You will sit there and enjoy. Kirk Ferentz special.
I need Penn State to pick up Northwestern and Iowa these next 2 weeks because I don't want them coming in. I want them coming in a little comfortable to Columbus on November 1st.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no comfort though. They can't lose another game the whole year.
Right.
Just to make the playoff.
Well, they could also just go for broke and go screw it. The hatred, while it's not mutual, The hatred is not mutual. I never got the hate Ohio week. There is this sense of like they 100% can and have. Bruins are fun. So
It's been a while.
I would rather them. Well, if they drop a third game,
they could also
might be
just
too
go into
dejected.
a deep depression.
That's okay. So losing in Iowa.
Yeah, Aaron, I'm sorry. I didn't include that on this potential upset alert week. Northwestern and Penn State.
Is that an upset, though? You'd have to ask yourself. I know
don't
Northwestern's
even
going
know.
to State College.
2:30, 3:30 Eastern kickoff, like venue. Can I get tickets?
Is it an upset if Penn State wins? That's my question.
No, Northwestern's pretty bad.
But Northwestern throttled UCLA like we said they would.
Yeah, true.
By transitive property, Northwestern's already better than UCLA.
They're much.
In fact,
better
a lot
than,
of teams are. New Mexico, especially.
Yeah, gosh.
Hey, I can get tickets for $30 to.
Not bad.
Not bad for at Beaver Stadium.
Nice.
Wow.
30, yeah.
Yeah, people are not excited to go to that game.
Yeah. It looks like a decent. That was like standing room. I don't know if that was their student section or I forget how they organize things. Most like seats, if you want to sit down on a part of a bench, it's like $30 or $40. That's easy.
Speaking of next week, I feel like this week happens every October. There's one October where many favorites,
the second week
ranked
in October
teams
happens really often.
Travel to an unranked team that is more, or a lower ranked team that is very capable of taking them out. And they've been thinking about the game all year. And that's this week. We talked about this one even in the offseason. So I'll just list off all these games. They're not all the ranked teams on the road, but many of them are. But all of these, in my mind, are very losable games for the higher ranked opponent. Number 1, OSU at number 17, Illinois. Number 8, Alabama at number 14, Missouri. That would have been a fun game day if not for the next one, number 7, Indiana at number 3, Oregon. Number 6, Oklahoma versus Texas in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Florida at number 5, A&M. Kansas at number 9, Texas Tech. Number 10, Georgia at Auburn. Number 15, Michigan at USC. I have no read on that game. South Carolina at number 11, LSU, who can't score. And Nussmeier's hurt. Number 18, BYU at Arizona. If you haven't watched Arizona, they are much better than you think they are. And number 21, Arizona State at Utah. You guys, are there any specific games that you would just like to make your shot right now and call the upset? Or is there one, if not, is there one that you are really concerned about for the higher ranked team? Because there will be a few of these teams that do falter this week.
I think it could be, if I had to pick any of these, and this is going to sound like I'm a hater, and I promise I'm not trying to do that. It's Michigan taking that long flight. We've talked about the time zones. We saw what happened at Penn State. It's Michigan traveling to USC, who I think and again, I'm an idiot for believing in USC. I was an idiot for picking Penn State number 1 overall and thinking they were going to win a national championship this year. I was an idiot for a lot of reasons, thinking Clemson would be good. But you know what? I think at this point, enough games have been played that every single college football fan can be called an idiot for one of their takes. And if not, it's because they weren't bold enough to post one of their takes online. I think Bryce Underwood is going to be so good. But note what I said, that he will be. He's not right now. Watching him play against Wisconsin, he had some great moments. He had a lot of moments where I'm like, oh, is that Joe Milton back there trying to kill your wide receiver with a 5-yard pass that's 700 miles an hour? Like, the arm talent is unbelievable. And even for the most part, I'd say the decision-making is good. The athleticism's there. Like, it is clear watching him play the quarterback position. Like, okay, I could absolutely see why this is the number 1 overall prospect. And I'm saying all this, and it's the USC defense. At the end of the day, I really do need to see it to believe it. But for this case, it's an interesting road test for him. We saw how the road test went against Oklahoma. I am not comparing Oklahoma and USC, nor am I comparing really anything about that. Crowd, size, noise, anything. But it's an interesting trip. It's a game that if you're USC, you feel like you have to have. Because if you don't have it, then how are you any different than you've been the last few years under Lincoln Riley? You're not. The answer is you're not. So
okay.
I think this Trojan team is ready for an actual important, impactful win, and we'll see if it happens. But that'd be my pick.
Josh?
I don't know where my tab is.
Selfishly, I also want LSU to lose, but
Aaron, listen, I know Lenore Sellers has 0, but LSU also can't score.
yeah.
So that
Or
game,
run.
pick the under.
Yeah.
Pick the under. Just whatever the under is in scoring. Listen, Lenore Sellers is more than capable. My Heisman take with him is wrong because he has 0 help. But he's capable of a one-off, putting the cape on and taking out an overrated LSU team at number 11. They are not the 11th best team in the country.
I don't
Josh?
know how I can justify it. I can't.
Hey, that's better upset pick if you can't justify
Because
it.
I'm curious. I'm curious what happens if Indiana upsets Oregon.
I mean, just
This
wild.
is we saw this past week. I want to see it. I want to see from a pure curiosity perspective. I like them. I'm a Big Ten supremacy, OG Big Ten supremacy. Get out of here, Oregon. For them to travel, yeah, they're about to make a sequel to Hoosiers.
Well, I mean, no one thinks
Hoosiers
that
too. We
Indiana's
also
even
have a
going to
football
compete
team.
in this game, right?
Yeah,
Which is insane that they don't
Yeah.
think that they'll compete. They haven't watched
the
Indiana.
amount of,
that
and
much.
also that is also true. The amount of flack Indiana has gotten this year and a little bit of last year for simply existing.
Yeah. Yes.
I want Indiana again. Doesn't have to be this drawn out dramatic. Doesn't have to be a blowout. I don't care. If you get the W, I want everybody in the
Wow.
media who has been like, "Well, Texas would hang 70 on IU."
Oh man.
That
Oof.
has been the worst age tweet I think I've seen all college football season.
Ice cold.
Yeah.
Ice cold. I mean, frozen tundra take. Josh, you're right though. Because it's like, oh, Vandy's good. Oh, how sweet. It's that meme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm
yeah.
Vandy.
Yeah.
Oh, how sweet. Hello, I'm
I'm
Indiana.
7th
Hello,
Indiana.
human resources.
Uh-huh.
Get them out of here.
Yeah, everyone was
Like,
excited for a ranked Vandy versus a ranked Alabama,
Yeah.
going, "Oh, this is kind of fun." Ranked Indiana versus ranked Oregon. Now, I say that, and game day's going.
Yes, good on
Indiana's-
them.
Yes, good on them. I think it's clearly. I mean, obviously, the easy answer would be Red River again, but listen,
Texas ruined that.
exactly. So I'm for the grudge match that hopefully can happen. I'll take Indiana.
In Indiana, that win against Illinois just
Mhm.
continues to age well.
Yeah.
Illinois responded well after that game, and
Yeah.
Indiana won by 50, guys. They won by 50. And Illinois, I knew they weren't that bad. But the fact that they were able to bounce back instantly afterwards and beat USC and they haven't lost since, has me still concerned about this game with OSU going to Champaign. It's only their second road test. And in one sense, long term, I'm really happy that they're going to hostile environments like Husky Stadium and going to Champaign to play Illinois. But that doesn't mean I'm not worried about it. But to answer the question, I have 2. And ranking wise, this first one doesn't seem like a huge upset. But I think Missouri is going to beat Alabama this week. I know Alabama's been playing so much better since that Florida State loss. They beat Georgia in Athens, and you think, okay, cool. They finally exercised those road demons. They're figuring it out. They know how to play on the road now. But Missouri is another team. Have you watched them? Most of these people, have you watched them?
Yeah.
They're top 10 for me.
Yep.
And I know it's number 8 against number 14. So you're like, how big of an upset is? That will be a huge upset in the public eye.
No.
That
Even the
Missouri
board.
and Bo Prabula pull off the upset, give Alabama a second loss on the season, not ending their season. But
Yeah.
Alabama still has to prove to me, ironically, against someone other than Georgia, that they can win on the road, because they got some weird voodoo stuff with Georgia and Kirby Smart.
Yeah.
I need to see them beat a quality opponent on the road consistently, because that's the one thing that they've really struggled with under Kalen DeBoer. And this Missouri team is not going to beat themselves. They're not going to implode. And they have the skill set and talent at running back and at quarterback to beat this Alabama team and give them fits. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Missouri to win that game.
Yeah.
And then the other one, I think Utah's going to take out Arizona State. I know it's, again, number 21 Utah, like 21 Arizona State at Utah. If Utah wins, they probably literally hop into Arizona State's ranking at number 21. It's not the biggest upset in the world, but Utah at home. Arizona State's been escaping these games by the skin of their teeth. Not that they're bad. Arizona State just has a brutal schedule by Big 12 standards this year. Like they play every contender.
Yep.
So I think Utah's going to get them this week. Aaron, I agree with your USC take. And then I think honorable mention Auburn at home against Georgia.
Yep.
Honorable mention on that one. I think that is I can't totally explain that from an X's and O's standpoint.
I can't at all, because X's and O's Auburn should get obliterated.
Yes, but there's something, and again, Josh, you said rivalry game doesn't always make sense. I would not be surprised if Georgia, after a physical game against Kentucky, which I know people are like, what? Georgia and Kentucky have another weird relationship. It's toxic.
Yeah, right.
Every year that game is way too close. But I think Auburn has a shot because they have enough talent on that team. Even though the quarterback position is a major struggle for them, this is not a Georgia defense of old. So all it takes is a few blown coverages, a special teams play, and here we go. Because that Georgia offense is also, despite what we saw against Tennessee, that was the outlier, not the norm from that Georgia offense. So I'm curious. But I most of these games, I would not be like shocked out of my mind. Like I said, these all seem like losable games to me.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a good week. I'm looking forward to it. A lot of these games happening at noon, so these are the weeks Quad View is made for, the noon window.
Yes.
Saturday, the whatever day, the 11th. Yeah. The Reds make the playoffs. Do we? I mean,
okay? So what happened?
They did exactly what was expected of them.
Yeah. I think it was the night of the first game, or maybe the morning of the next game. I don't remember. But Aaron sent me a voice memo, and he ended with, we were talking about something. He's like, well, I gotta get back. See you later, and go Reds. And I went in the back of my head. I went, you can't say that. You can't
even acknowledge happiness about that team.
You can't acknowledge. No, you can't. They know when people root for them. And so I responded in kind, as if we were at like a church service. Go Reds, well, and go Reds to you as well. And also with your Reds.
The Reds are risen indeed. They're in the postseason.
Didn't even last 3 days.
No,
they just
correct. You're right.
Cut that.
But the lack of excitement was like very understanding because they backed there's the definition of backing their way into the postseason. They did absolutely nothing.
I mean, they did go 9-4 down but I understand your point. Yeah,
they didn't do they couldn't even win the series against the Pirates.
Right.
You know, it just. They didn't do anything for me as a fan to feel, oh, wow.
Yeah.
What a great year.
Right.
They were, Aaron, they finished 4 games over 500?
Yeah.
3 games over 500? Yeah, so it's, I think we would have seen that at the end of this year and not been, horribly disappointed. But I think we also would have been shoot, I thought we could make the postseason. But, I think Reds fans are smart enough to be we shouldn't have, though. Somebody else should have been in this spot, just talent-wise. The Mets should have been in this spot. The Giants should have been in this spot. If the Diamondbacks hadn't been sellers at the deadline, they would have probably won this spot. So I think, and it's an expanded playoff spot. The spot hasn't existed for most of baseball history. So I think, and then you get blown out. Like, you don't even win one game against the Dodgers, which is expected. But I think even winning just one game against the Dodgers would have been some sense of, oh, okay, cool. Like, we belonged here.
Right.
And that's just not happening.
Yeah. Well, that's really all the baseball I care to talk about. But agreed. It was one of those.
You know who else is really sad? Yankees fans.
Well, that's true. And
as
Mets
always.
fans. Yeah.
And Mets fans.
Yeah.
But I feel like again, Mets sad. We talked about this last week when Johnny was dead. I saw a tweet, and I think it's the same. The Yankees have the same type of thing that I'm seeing increasingly with like Lakers fans. And it was like, oh my gosh, no one. I literally saw this genuine tweet the other day. Maybe it was rage bait. I don't care. I'm already talking about it. It was like, oh guys, it's been nothing but pain to be a Yankees fan since 2009. I'm like,
what an insane qualifier.
What a child.
Well, maybe if they are
It's
a
like
child,
that
then I'll
Penn
give them.
State
I'll
tweet.
give them.
No, yeah,
that.
if they're genuinely 12, great, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, not great because I shouldn't have to. Someone tweeted this years ago, but I shouldn't have to open up my internet, Al Gore's internet, and have a severe risk of being bombarded with a 12-year-old's opinion ever. Like, I did my time. I know what I was like at 12.
Right.
I should not have had access to a global, open, very lightly censored, if at all, platform. No. Put me back with my GameCube and a book. Read more books. That's my action statement in the middle of this gosh darn podcast. Read a book.
Fall
A
off
real
Rainbow
one,
Road
written
like
by
a real
human.
child.
Yes. Restart the game and break the controller because it's just a stupid level.
Ask your older
Like
sibling to
an
help
American.
you. Yeah, we need more of that.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't ask Chap. Anyways, okay. How about we make some picks?
Sometimes the guys make picks based on their vast knowledge of sports. Sometimes they make picks based on vibes.
I'm going to go ahead and say that Maryland takes down Florida.
Chop this one up for the Gators. Chop a national championship for Florida.
Either way, they're probably going to be wrong. It's time for Picks of the Week.
You know, speaking of that clip, you know what's in 30 days from right now? College hoops. 30 days.
Oh, man, that's wild.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel possible. It was
No,
80
no.
degrees again here.
Yeah. Before we get into picks of the week, shout out our friends, Uteger Football.
Yeah.
Highest attendance in the Southland Conference for their home opener. Home opener conference-wise, I should say. Beating out Northwestern State, McNeese, Lamar, and Incarnate Word.
Aaron, was it their first home opener or their first home opener? Like, which campus?
Right. Whichever one they're playing football on, it was that one. And it was their first conference home game. So good for them. Picks of the week. We've got some things happening, but no points. So our scoreboard still sits at Josh with 7 points and Johnny and I with 5. Now, we do know that Johnny or I will get a point up on Josh because Josh is dead in our NFL Eliminator and Johnny and I are still alive. My Detroit Lions did beat your Cincinnati Bengals. We're trying to do you a favor, Johnny. We're trying to help you fire Zach Taylor.
Please.
And
Please help us fire Zach Taylor.
Yeah, we
He's
got one
awful.
step closer yesterday. I got a chance to
I
go to
didn't
the
like
game.
how close you let the game get early.
Me neither.
Late on.
Me neither.
A lot of booze.
Didn't like that.
There were a lot of boos, especially early. That was a rough. He kind of turned it around late, but a rough performance by Jake Browning. I was sitting there at the game, and I could have Googled this, but I was trying to be a normal person and not be on my phone during a game. Actually, that makes me not normal. Anyways, who is your current backup quarterback? Do you even know? Like other than Jake Browning, like who's backing him up?
It should be Jameis. No, Jake Browning should still be the backup because our starting quarterback should be Jameis Winston.
Well, correct. Yeah, correct answer.
If you're gonna see a quarterback throw 6 picks a game, I would rather enjoy the press conferences that follow.
Right.
Honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Aaron,
I
my
at least have a
final
fun hot
answer.
mic.
Jeff Driscoll. Is he still there?
I don't know. I'll look this up
Probably
right
not. Probably not.
Y'all
might be.
got Mason Rudolph for one week.
now. Yeah. Well, I'll open up the NFL conversation before we move on to like our actual eliminator picks, because I won. I did pick the Lions over the Bengals, and Johnny, you escaped. The Buccaneers win a wild game. By the way, the most perfect uniform aesthetic game in NFL history against the Seattle
It was
Seahawks.
beautiful.
Oh, beautiful.
And they even changed the logos.
Yes.
Thank
Good
you,
job,
CBS. That's a
Yep.
get out of jail card for you guys.
Yep.
Those should be their permanent uniforms. Although I like the Buccaneers' normal uniforms, so
Oh,
it's fine.
any other guesses on who the backup quarterback might be in Cincinnati? I can
I
give
really
you.
should
We can start
know
narrowing
this.
it down. I can give you like a conference. if
Give me a
that's helpful.
conference.
Mountain West.
Oh.
It's been in the league for 7 years now. Which is wild because he's the same age as Jake Browning, yet he's been in the league for 4 more years.
What?
Is that that can't be right?
Is that legal?
What?
Unless like
Now I really don't know
that's
who
not
it is.
ESPN's lying to me. Jake Browning has been a Bengal for longer than 3 years, right? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't think he was originally drafted by the Bengals.
So were there years that he was not in the league at all? Is that what's happening? Yeah, maybe.
No, I thought he was on a different team.
No, he just wasn't in the league.
Or maybe it was scout team.
Yeah, scout teams. Okay, that is right. I guess he's played the last 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
Aaron, I have no idea. I'm probably going to be mad at myself for.
it's Brett
Yes.
Ripien from the Boise State.
Oh, Ripon.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I said Ripien.
Yeah, that's not good.
incorrect, but anyways,
that's not better.
no, it's not. All right, where was? Oh, okay. So NFL eliminator. Josh, your Pittsburgh Steelers, though. Before we get too far, I mean, you guys are the top. Depending on how you want to look at it, you two are the top 2 teams in your division.
Legally, the top team.
Well, everybody else is just dead or broken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
this isn't like. Maybe,
Ironically,
maybe all
the
weed he's
Steelers are the
smoking
healthiest
is working. Maybe whatever weird green concoction. Maybe his special friend who he kind of talks about. I don't know what the secret is.
here's some voodoo dolls. He's stabbing
voodoo dolls.
Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow
I could believe that.
with the voodoo dolls.
Because I mean he's doing fine. Like there's no like massive issues other than offensive line, like, the standard stuff we've talked about. It's more just like they're getting hurt later in the season, so it by proxy,
right.
by on the scale of how the rest of the division is doing, technically we're first.
And technically, because of some upsets this week, you're tied for first in the league. So, as are my Lions. So that's pretty wild. Who would have thought that after
Josh,
week 1?
Wouldn't it be
Barring
so
Lamar Jackson getting healthy quickly, like I don't know how you
No,
don't
this is
win
what
the
Tomlin
division.
does. We're gonna go 9-8, and then everyone else
Win
is
the
gonna have
division.
their stuff figured out. Yeah, win the division, lose in the wild card or the first round.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's going to happen still.
It's going to happen still, and I can't let myself.
But you're going to win a
get
division.
there. Yeah, oh yeah, of course we're gonna win the division. Like, yeah,
At this
we're gonna,
point, who knows
And
when
it's-
Lamar's back? Like, I hope he's back
Here's-
soon,
well,
but it's a
here's-
hamstring.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Here's the funniest thing,
like,
and I'm not
hamstring.
letting myself go there yet. I'm not letting myself get there yet.
What, you think the Browns are going to win the AFC North?
No, I'm saying what if the missing piece? What if the missing piece to
I hope
getting
the
the
Browns
Steelers
beat the
back to the
Steelers
Super
so
Bowl?
bad this week.
Wouldn't it be so dumb for Aaron Rodgers only 2 Super Bowls?
Plays the Packers.
No,
Just
And then plays
just
Jordan Love.
just
in the
add-
back.
add a
That would be the
wrinkle to
most
it.
toxic
oh,
what a
Super
stupid,
Bowl
what a
lead
dumb
up
Super Bowl.
ever.
I would love
That would be
that.
so toxic.
You
I'd be
thought
cheering
last
for the
year-
Packers
You thought last
very
year was
much.
bad versus when it was Taylor Swift's team versus
Oh, gosh.
Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia. Imagine what it'd be like to see the weird guy who doesn't close his eyes. They're always giving you a weird stare. A man who never closes his eyes. I think he only blinks 2 or 3 times a day.
Wow.
Going up against his former team that he badmouthed so bad. Please make it happen.
Yep. So all
Here's the
that
drama.
Yeah. No, 100%. So all that being said, week 6, I've got the Denver Broncos because they're across the pond. So that does add kind of a wild card to things, but they're playing the Jets. And the Jets have just been so bad. Justin Fields' stats look okay if you ignore the part where he's getting a lot of those. Well, they actually look on paper, if you take away all of the context, it's not bad. And there are other problems bigger than Justin Fields, but a lot of this stuff is happening in garbage time. This team is real rough. There's conversation because they are the only winless team in the NFL. There's conversation that it may be a one and done kind of year for Aaron Glenn, which is unfortunate because he's from the Lions, and to see this not go well is making me sad. Although it is interesting that you picked a defensive coordinator who never had a top 16 defense. But anyways, I'm going down a very random path. Needless to say, the Broncos are on a heater right now. They just take out the Eagles. They take out one of the last remaining undefeated teams. They obviously laid waste to the Bengals. So the Broncos are moving in the right direction. They're two teams trending in very opposite directions. So give me the Broncos in London.
And speaking of the Bengals, that's who Green Bay's facing this week. So right now, I'm picking against my team as often as I can. So give me the Packers to beat the Bengals this week in Eliminator.
Yep.
A little bit more of a sure thing after my risky Buccaneers-Seahawks game last week.
Yeah. Yep. And we also have MLB postseason ongoing. We gave you those picks last week, although I don't think we said what you had, Johnny.
Oh, you didn't?
I don't think so, because I think I texted you after
Seattle.
the show. Yeah.
I have Seattle
Yep.
over Philly
Yeah. Okay.
in my World Series. So a little different.
Yep.
But
I love it.
I mean, for Philly's sake, I kind of hope they win, but I also love that series because I wouldn't mind who wins.
Yeah, agreed. All right. Well, that kind of recaps where we have been in picks of the week. Where we're going is the NHL begins tomorrow. If it snuck up on you, well, some amount of shame on you. But in fairness, it's an Olympic year, so we are starting the season 2 weeks early, which is just great in my opinion. Let's do it. Let's get it rolling. So the NHL begins on Tuesday. There's a triple header. I believe ESPN has all of those games. ESPN is also providing some betting odds on who might win the Stanley Cup. And to summarize, they have no idea because there are 6 teams with either plus 800 or plus 900 odds. Those teams are, first, the plus 800 teams, the Oilers, Hurricanes, and the Avalanche. The plus 900 teams are the Dallas Stars, the Florida Panthers, the 2-time defending champions, and the Vegas Golden Knights. Our Columbus Blue Jackets, plus 10,000. But could be worse, the Blackhawks and the Sharks, plus 50,000. So after all that, that's your who might be good. But the reality is I don't think we know because it's hockey and it's wonderful. And even the Panthers, who I just mentioned, have won back-to-back Stanley Cup championships. They've got Stanley Cup twice over. They have already lost their captain for the season, torn ACL. So, I mean, it's anyone's season, as it kind of always is in the NHL. It's why it's one of the best sports seasons in all of sports, in my opinion, playoffs especially. This day, I can't speak. We're going to pick one of the games that are happening tomorrow, Tuesday. So potentially by the time you're listening to this will already be done. The Avalanche travel to the Los Angeles Kings. Although it's in LA, give me the Avalanche. I think this is going to be a good year for them. ESPN's odds agree with that. The Avalanche at plus 800. The Kings not far behind, plus 2,500. Of course, they've had the misfortune of facing the Edmonton Oilers in the first round of the last 2 Stanley Cup playoffs. But give me the Avalanche in this one, in the nightcap of what should be a fun triple header to kick off the season.
Listen, I only pick based on what fits. I can't pick a place where I can't imagine hockey to logically exist. So
that's fair, Josh.
If the option's Colorado or LA, sorry. I'm always going Colorado. Doesn't matter where in Colorado. I know there are parts of Colorado that are plains. I know that. Shut up. as a whole, as an aggregate, Colorado does hockey. LA doesn't. Don't snow in LA.
Yeah.
Don't think it does. Hope not. So there we go.
I'm with
Avalanche.
Josh.
Okay.
Josh, Avalanche, exact same logic, exact same reasons. I'm on board with Josh.
Yeah. And it's worth noting the Florida teams have had no success in the Stanley Cup the last few years. So that
Zero.
I like it though. It's good vibe pick. Good vibe pick for sure. Yeah, we'll report back, but some of us, multiple of us potentially, are getting points next week. As the season is coming to a close, Josh still hanging on to that 2-point lead. The Maccoon mug is on the line.
The guys spent hours scrolling social media, and they found some pretty dumb stuff. Now they want to talk to you about it.
Do they need a guy on weekends to like walk around random McDonald's and like dressed as a Grimacy? Because I'll take that.
Are
Take that
you
job
okay saying
now.
bad things about the British?
Good luck. It's time for What We're Following.
All right, so I'm going to be angry tomorrow. And here's why. Angry is probably a bit strong of a word.
No, own it.
I'm going to be angry. Because it's been announced that LeBron has a second decision
Yeah.
coming tomorrow at noon
No.
Eastern time.
Yeah.
I'm going to be mad no matter what he says. Because what I think this might be is one of the most annoying but possibly effective ad campaigns in the history of mankind, where he's going to sit down. They're kind of going to recreate the scene of the decision. He'll sit down in the chair. He'll have the guy interview him, ask him the questions, and he says, "I'm picking Prime Day because that's what's happening tomorrow." And just the internet's going to lose their minds. They're going to be so ticked off, as they should be. But yet, at the same time, it will be the most maybe effective ad campaign ever, because everyone's like, "Well, I'm annoyed, but it is Prime Day." And also, it's worth noting that Amazon Prime has the NBA this year, so it's not a stretch to think that that could be what this is. Alternatively, it could be what other people think it could be, and it's his retirement. Which I would be frustrated at that too, not because I don't think he should retire. Like, he's the best in my opinion, so do whatever he wants. But that'll make me sad. Like, one more year of LeBron and that's it. And NBA fandom is responding in kind, because when the Cavs host the Lakers this year, ticket prices have shot up to where the cheapest ticket is now $243. And I imagine that price is probably higher because I'm looking at a tweet that was 5 hours ago. And that's happening in other places as well. So that's, the Utah Jazz host. They host or they play? I don't know. The Lakers and Jazz play at the end of the year. The cheapest seat there is now $445. It was $85 yesterday. So if it's his retirement, which, I mean, it could be. I'm not ruling that out. That's pretty wild. He's not going to a different team at this point. We're too far into the season for that. So I don't know. I mean, do you guys have a guess on what this is? Is this like a real thing, do you think? Or is this just an ad
He's coming home.
to Amazon Prime?
He's
Cleveland.
coming home via
But
Amazon Prime.
with 2 weeks left before the season, he's like, "Oh,
Yep.
thanks Lakers for all these off-season practices. Peace."
Yep. That's exactly what's going to
Paying
happen.
Luka his salary to put him back in Dallas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here, I don't know. Like, at some point, the gravity of the decision. And again, we all thought back in the day, it was a bit much.
Absolutely.
But like, there was a gravity to it.
Yeah.
And
I remember
there's
exactly where I
something
was.
Absolutely.
Yep.
This was our sports 9/11, and also cut that.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe
that.
that.
Cut that, please.
I threw up. 12-year-old Johnny did not take it well.
Did not take it well. The gravity of what the decision is, in that it was this whole like what's going on. It feels like it would be like a slap in the face to make that a big ad because he doesn't really. If he had mentioned the decision more often, maybe I could see this as being like a Super Bowl type commercial where it's oh he's that. Now again, with 1 day in advance, more or less, maybe he would be willing to like turn it into a shtick. But like for me, this feels. I also am thinking of the man who did star in Looney Tunes, Space Jam 2.
Yeah.
So there's money to be involved. But I can't imagine right now. I can't imagine a situation in which this isn't some sort of this is my last season type. That's my guess right now when I saw that. Now, darn you, Prime Day. I'm going to continue to not have Amazon Prime if I will continue my current rate of shopping, which is occasionally when I need a niche thing that I can't buy anywhere else. But please don't make it a Prime Day joke.
Now, the only option that does not make me mad.
If the deals were good, yeah.
Well, right.
But Prime Day is midday.
Oh.
And you heard it here first.
Yeah. The only thing that would not make me mad is if he is launching a campaign to save college basketball to not allow expansion to the NCAA tournament.
Oh,
that's the only decision that would make me happy tomorrow.
Or he's running for college football commissioner.
That's fine. Yeah.
Oh,
I'd take almost anyone at commissioner at this point.
Yep.
Except a network executive.
Oh my gosh.
No, those are the guys who
or
know
a lawyer.
so much.
No lawyers, no network executives, and I'd be happy.
I don't know if I saved the tweet. Let's see. I'm scrolling. You can probably literally hear my mouse scrolling. I did not save the tweet. But there was a tweet talking about the potential NCAA expansion. And it started with like executives are thinking. And I'm like, stop. We have gone astray from the first word. How?
Yep.
Who, what, when, where, and how, and why are executives making decisions about college basketball? But I'll save that for, well, yes, Johnny has the obvious answer, money. So I'll move on. The other
got Mr. Krabs running the show right now in college football, college basketball.
We do. The other thing I'll mention, and I hope I'm not stealing this from you, Josh, the Phillies have a limited edition fall classic shake with vanilla soft serve ice cream blended with dulce de leche. Oh. I think I said that wrong. And topped with an apple cider donut.
Fine. Oh, yes. Oh, I want apple cider donut.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I want that
not a
so
Trader
bad.
Joe's on my way back. I might have to go out of my way.
And really, I picked the Phillies to win the World Series. I would say the Phillies should send me that. But by picking the Phillies, I did, in fact, ensure their certain defeat.
Yeah, they're not giving it to you now.
And, Johnny, you have them in your World Series. Like, they're losing to the Dodgers. So...
True.
Yep. That's all I got.
Guys, I have an update.
Oh boy.
We have a winner. We have
Yay.
a fattest bear.
Yay.
And it was the one who I picked. Congratulations, bear number 32. Chunk has won. Come on. His name's Chunk.
Of course he was going to win.
Was there ever a doubt?
No. That dude was minus 1,000 in the betting odds to win.
Hey, Johnny.
Fattest bear.
Are you serious? Because I know you can't bet on these things.
Oh, you can bet on anything. You try hard enough.
You can bet on anything, Josh.
Okay. Yeah. It's a bear. Can we not bet on bears?
We bet on horses? How was that the line, Josh?
Yeah, why is that?
Yeah,
why is that?
Yeah,
better?
because the horses are trying to do something.
So are the bears.
The bear is just being a bear.
Bears are trying to hibernate.
This is that scene in The Office. It's that scene in The Office where they're all placing bets on like how long Kelly can talk about Netflix. Like it's like, why? What are we doing here? And it showcases how terrible they all are because they're betting on their friends. I'm not betting on Chunk. I'm not betting on Chunk.
I would
I'm
absolutely bet
Chunk.
on Chunk. Chunk's my friend. I'm going to encourage him.
Bet on Chunk.
Get fatter
hop
before
on Chunk
you hibernate,
and ride
sir.
him around, and he will be my best friend. The guy that fat, 100%. I can make like my big. Again, we've said this before. I will die at the hands of a bear that I tried to hug. I just watched.
Well,
the
you know,
season
I'm dying at the hands of a
Tubi.
bear.
Yeah.
Are we all dying at the hands of a bear? Aaron? Do you have
Oh yeah,
plans
have
to
you
die at the
decided
hands
yet,
of a
Aaron,
bear?
how you're
Does
gonna
anyone
die?
have plans to die at the hands of the bear? It just happens,
It's
right?
not okay. It's not that.
Yes,
you
I do.
can-
I have very specific plans to die at the hands of
Well,
a bear.
okay.
I've shared them before.
Yes.
It's not that I've planned out the timeline. It's just more an acknowledgement of the inevitable. Where I'm
Okay.
gonna mistake which bear is the nice bear.
Josh,
And I'm
grizzly,
gonna walk up
polar,
to a
or
grizzly.
black?
I
Oh, grizzly. Okay.
yeah. I'm gonna accidentally get mauled to death by a grizzly because I will have forgotten that it wasn't the nice bear.
Yeah. You won't be in Montana.
No. Because I should know black bear.
Yes. Very good, Josh. Speaking of bears, grizzlies, if you will, what I'm
I'll allow
following
it.
this week is that I need to give everybody credit for this season so far of football. We've already talked about several of these. Aaron, you mentioned the Seahawks Buccaneers, the creamsicle Buccaneers.
Yep.
Jerseys, the old Seahawks indigenous Seahawks jerseys, fantastic. Once again, CVS, well done. We've also had some fantastic uniforms already so far this year in college football. I think right now we might be in the golden age of uniforms. Yes, I know there's some awful ones still, like the Commanders, but I love that we have so many good throwback jerseys that people are willing to go back to, and that we have so many good alternate. I think in the earlier 2000s, we were really trying with these alternates, and there were some awful alternates.
Yeah.
You know, Aaron has videos of this. Look on our page if you would like to see.
We all lived through the color rush era. I mean, that was like prime college for us.
Yeah. Where Johnny
Exactly.
would show us exactly what it
been
looked like from his perspective and go, oh, yeah, there's no, it was what, Jets Cardinals? And I'm like, no, these are both two brown teams if you cannot see red and green.
We had to go through that rough patch to get to the other side, and we're there.
We had
if
to suffer.
You watched UTEP this last week, those are some of the most gorgeous uniforms I've ever seen in my entire life. They are fantastic. The Colorado School of the Mines this year, amazing jerseys. Western Kentucky keeps topping themselves week after week, pun intended, with showing big red up on there. I mean, this week, Montana, the Grizzlies have an outstanding cartoon grizzly on their helmets. It is fantastic. It is a throwback. We're just going to get more and more of these wonderful uniforms. Football is old enough that we can throw back to these wonderful post-generational jerseys and uniforms, and we can honor them, and they're still amazing, and they're so good that a lot of us want to go back to them, like the Philadelphia Eagles Kelly Green, which they should go back to.
I watched with a friend and this is not a new uniform they've done, but I watched Texas Tech at Houston with a friend, a UH alum. First off, adopt a team like Houston. I've never seen a man go through so many stages of it's so over, we're so back in a quarter that I've seen in my entire life. But they had their beautiful Oilers throwbacks on.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it was
good
gorgeous.
call, Josh.
Gorgeous.
So good.
On this topic, how do we feel about the
yeah.
rivalry jerseys for the NFL? Like the Bills just wore them last night. We saw the Cardinals.
Oh, I actually thought the ice blue were very nice.
I liked them. Yeah, I was.
I mean,
I
ice
was
blue.
pleasantly surprised. Yeah.
The ice, but it was like ice.
Yeah.
You know?
I didn't expect. I hadn't seen the lead up to it.
I
was
liked
like, oh,
them.
They're nice.
I liked them better than I thought I would.
I
Very
think it ended
good.
up being more. It was subtle in a way that you noticed them in a positive light. Right.
Yes.
I didn't really. It wasn't. They weren't so clearly. Hey, look at me. I'm an alternate uniform.
But we're past like Steelers Bumblebee jersey throwbacks. Like we're
Yes.
past that. That's my point. I think we are. What
Have we seen
back.
what the
I'm
Steelers are
in
rolling
the
out this year?
minority. I'm in the minority of hating them. They are well received by Steelers fans.
Oh god.
doesn't-
Well, they're wrong.
They're wrong. Absolutely.
But this is my point. We are entering into the golden age of uniform.
But do yourself a favor. I need you to Google Steelers alternate jersey 2025.
Oh no.
I mean, your
no.
point
Well,
still
okay,
stands. It's not going to ruin the point.
Pittsburgh's eliminated.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's cut out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't hit every shot.
No.
But generally
Oh.
speaking, and especially in college, maybe I should just focus more on college. college is fantastic. We're past all these, like Florida trying to have an alligator jersey. That was just a terrible
Yeah.
idea.
Right.
Like, sorry guys, that was awful. Good
You know-
try. We went through the bad stages with the bad ideas. We got a lot of those out of the way. And now we have some wonderful, wonderful jerseys. Once again, if you haven't seen the UTEP jerseys, those are fantastic. They're so good. Look them up. And then Colorado School of the Mines with their donkey carrying bags of coal. That's amazing. Who doesn't love college football?
Who doesn't?
Just sad people.
Aaron, I'll take that jersey.
And I think
like
you're
that
crazy
jersey.
for that.
This is not bad.
Johnny, are you looking at it?
It's vertical stripes.
I will
this
now.
time. It's
Yeah,
better.
you're
Vertical
the
stripes is
tiebreaker.
better.
I think it's the whole thing. Like, I understand that it's a throwback. Like
The
so
colors are
part of it
better.
is
There's
not
no
like,
way it's worse than Bumblebee. There's no
What?
way it's worse than the Bumblebee.
It's not worse than Bumblebee.
and one of
It's
the,
not the
Okay,
best
that's bad.
ever.
yeah, it is.
But I'll
bad.
take it.
It's
Come
bad.
on.
It's not worse than Bumblebee.
It's-
Bumblebee's way worse though.
It is worse.
Vertical stripes are better. I like the khaki pants.
The Browns
like,
all brown was also pretty.
That
good,
was bad.
Sure.
Yeah.
that was bad.
So AFC
Y'all gotta
North,
live a little.
you are now banned from banned.
Yeah.
I'll take one on the chin there because the
You're
Bengals all
afraid-
white is
You're
actually
afraid
really
of what
great.
might happen
Yeah, it
if
is.
we know where to
But-
put our stripes.
Yeah.
Stripes is our thing, Josh. Back off.
Not according to every throwback jersey that the Steelers have ever thrown out. Apparently, stripes were our thing.
Now,
Your Steelers, not Tigers.
how have the Steelers not done like an Oregon, like, what do you call that? Great pattern? I don't know. That's not the right. You know what I'm talking about? Like the old Oregon jerseys that had like the, what's it called? I'm going to
the glow in the dark helmets?
Well, no.
No, the classy ones.
Yeah, like the,
When everything was neon and glowing.
no, you got to go before that even. Great's not the right word. What's it called?
I'm trying to scan right now.
I don't know. What do you call that pattern? Like the metallic, I don't know. Dumb. Words are hard.
I'm gonna type.
Oh, you're
stripe.
saying because Steelers, so play into
Yeah, exactly.
that
Yeah.
like gray. Okay.
Yeah. What's
No,
it?
that's-
What's that called?
Because you have executives making decisions, people with no
Well,
fun.
Yeah, that's probably true. I can't find a good example. I'm ending the show in,
You guys are
in
just
a bad way.
Yeah,
but-
scared of primary colors being used with confidence. You guys can't handle a simple black and yellow.
Hmm.
They're
Given the
not
fact that the
nearly
logo
as bad
is-
as Bumblebee, but they're still not.
Steel grid. That's what it's called. Steel grid. Like if you look up Oregon steel grid jerseys, that's what I'm talking about. Like the Steelers got to break one of those out. Although you Google that doesn't even bring up anything. I don't know.
I was gonna say I got nothing.
Okay. Well, I quit. Action statement. Quit.
Action statement. Stop.
Steel plate. Is that
Quit.
does that work? Does that bring up anything if I Google that?
I'm with
Okay,
Aaron.
that does
That's a
bring
good
up
action
stuff. Steel
statement.
plate brings up some stuff for Oregon. If you Google it.
Quit.
The Steelers have the same issue that I think Ohio State has, and that there's such there's such an obsession with quote unquote tradition that you're only allowed to do certain types of changes, and the changes are things that already worked in the past. We've talked about this before. That means there's no room to grow, which is why like the Steelers logo will never change. It's not the best logo by any stretch of the imagination. But given the time period that it was made in, given what the Steelers were able to do, and given the mentality, it's going to stay.
Yeah.
And so
iconic.
given that they moved away from horizontal to vertical stripes, again, it's the 33 jersey. Like that looks if you're imagining it going, this is a reimagination of what they would have worn in the 30s. It makes more sense. Now, I loved the Tampa Bay jerseys. I wish
Oh,
that the
creamsicles so
Steelers-
good.
I wish that type of thing was possible with the Steelers. It won't happen. It won't happen. Maybe later in my lifetime, not for the next 20, 30 years. So you take what you can get. really, for primary colors, I think they look sharp.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, quit. Please quit.
Action
Quit.
statement, quit.
Quit. Don't let me distract you from quitting
Right.
right now. Send the email. Ask ChatGPT to write it because you've already quit.
Right.
What's it matter?
Yep.
Burn 2 gallons of water just to file that letter.
That's right. That's right. Well, and what people don't know is this show is entirely AI. So jokes on all
Hey,
of you.
thank you so much, AWS, for sponsoring this.
Oh my
week.
gosh. Yeah.
Please cut all of
If
what I've
LeBron
been
is
saying.
just an ad, I'm going to be so upset. Okay. Outro. Reminder to follow. I'm literally reading the show notes word for word. Outro. Reminder to follow us on social media. There you go. You can do that. You can also join the show live on YouTube and Facebook every Monday evening at approximately 6:30 p.m. Eastern time to share your thoughts when I'm not running behind. If you want to watch the video of the show but miss out on the live stream, you can also check us out on YouTube. All of our past videos are there, including just our other content. Facebook has it for a little while, but if you're looking to go deep in the archives for what reason, I don't know. But you can do that. It's on YouTube. Subscribe while you're over there. We're trying to fill up Kennesaw State's stadium with the equivalent number of subscribers, and we are getting real close to that capacity of 10,200. So help us do that. It'll also make sure you are
Hey,
alerted
Kennesaw
when
State.
the show is live and when our other content drops.
Yes, Kennesaw State right now, early favorite to play against Bowling Green in the Bahamas Bowl.
Oh, good research, Josh. Well done. That's a good nugget. Texas and Penn State, early favorites to play in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl.
Amen.
So, anyways, that's how we're going to wrap up our show. Listeners, viewers, I hope it's been a good one. It hasn't, but I hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you next week. Enjoy all the college football, the NFL, the NHL, MLS. I don't know. And MLB playoffs. There's a lot happening. Or maybe you're just preparing for the Winter Olympics in 4 months. I don't know what you're doing, but I hope it's good. So thanks for checking out this show, and we will be back next week. Have a good one.